Craft underwater and do the same thing. So it's like you don't have to be lost in the ocean.
Yeah. Did y'all see that movie Open Water?
No, but it sounds
No.
frightening. Just
Oh
said it sounds
Jesus.
right.
That's probably
I
like the
don't
most
do like water-based scary movies just because like it's just like I don't do Final Destination either. Like I'm fine with like the spirit in the house because even though like it's likely, it's not super likely, but like death by roller coaster seems real more likely than like, evil ghost spirit trying to kill me.
That's my
So I try
roller
to avoid
coaster.
movies like that.
yeah,
if
that
you go
Final
to
Destination.
If you go to Six Flags up here, you're definitely
Oh
putting your
yeah,
life on the line.
You
definitely.
see that? Yo.
Definitely.
Oh,
That
shit.
shit is
Yo,
is breaking down,
Six
dog.
Flags is
I will say
dangerous.
this though.
You wouldn't
That
catch this
shit
nigga
is
on a roller
so
coaster up
ghetto.
there.
I will say
No, sir.
this. Y'all should check out this movie called The Call. It's a Korean suspense
Oh,
film.
I'm out.
I'm good.
I
Go
don't
ahead,
know.
Swallow. Sound us
I
off.
don't do any
Yeah.
Let's get
Asian
started.
suspense films.
I don't know.
We're gonna go ahead and
It's like
move on through.
it's good. I'm gonna talk about it. Don't worry about it.
We're gonna
We don't
skip
want to hear.
JK's turn.
Thanks for joining us and welcome to the podcast. Follow us at Blerdimension here and on YouTube if you haven't already. Turn on notifications so you can be the first to know when we got new content for you. I'm Kavan, the Grito Suave. We got JK, Beasternal.
Howdy doody. I don't know what to say.
We got
I'm
Creston,
just
not
glad that
so culture.
the nation hasn't burned down yet.
But
And
there's still time.
see, thoughts like that is why we in trouble now.
No, that's not
Yeah.
why. But
We got Creston, not Cirque.
What's going on, everybody?
AJ, not Slinja.
no, y'all doing?
JD creates activity.
Appreciate y'all being with us tonight.
And
No
Carl.
camera tonight, Tech?
You know that shit be lagging.
No,
pick a
no
lock.
camera tonight.
It won't hurt. It won't hurt the show. It'll make it better.
I
Yo!
have that. I'm on my iPad right now. I'm on my iPad at the moment. My kids messed with my charger and it's not working for my laptop, so I have to wait to order a new one.
Damn.
So yeah.
All right,
That's
we got
unfortunate.
very.
And then the mini's not getting here until tomorrow, so that's that.
Oh, that's gonna be
It'll be
exciting.
ready for you next week. You know.
Oh yeah, next week I'm get the mini. I got a new webcam setting up. Got the mic. Next week I'm ready. I'm looking forward to it.
No, bet next week you're gonna be legit. All right.
Yeah.
And we got Carl, XKBH. Ooh, what the fuck? XKBHX. There we go.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister.
Going
All these
on.
accents.
Forewarning, it looks like I might be having some technical difficulties. I need to get one of those M1s as well, but
Hey.
that won't be anytime soon. So,
All right. All our pronouns are he, him, and his. We got 3 segments for y'all on the podcast. And if you're familiar with the podcast already, you know we usually start with what we've been consuming. And we're still doing that, but now it's going to be called What's Good. Serves the same purpose as the segment where we talk, as it was previously named, where we talk about content we've enjoyed. It's still going to be games we've been playing, shows we've been watching, comics we've been reading, any of that type of stuff. Then we're going to talk about what's new with headlines. After news, we got a topic of the week to discuss, and this week we're talking about CES 2021, which I think just ended today. And after the podcast, we're gonna have a quick intermission. Then we're gonna get into after podcast gaming. So tonight I think we're playing Rocket League, maybe some Halo. So stick around.
Rocket League, let's go.
I got
Who
some
wanna start
practice
first? What's
in. I'm
good?
ready.
Of course
Are
you
you
got some
ready?
fucking practice.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
That's that light
Of course
skin
you
nigga shit
got
I be
some
talking about.
practice in.
Already
Let's
cheating,
go.
man.
How's that already cheating? I
That's
haven't
not
played Rocket
cheating.
League in like 2 years.
Exactly. You
Of course you
I gotta brush
got
off
it.
them. I can't come in that joint raw. Come on now. What you look
Get
like?
out of here.
Everybody
I'm
else
not fresh here. You roll
Facts.
one.
For everybody else, it's gonna be our first time playing.
Oh well, that's
well,
y'all
not me.
fault.
I got some
Hey,
practice
you-
every day too.
play
I
years
mean, I
before.
don't believe in
Shit.
coming
Y'all got
unprepared to
Game Pass, so y'all
anything.
got fucking Xbox.
Exactly. Y'all got a controller
say,
and
Carl?
system in front of you.
Bruh.
All
It's
right,
not our fault.
Excuses.
Y'all over here complaining. Excuses. Exactly.
excuses.
It's nothing.
I'm
This
gonna hear the same
computer's
shit we
struggling
asked
right
for.
now.
All right, let's roll.
Who's kicking it off?
I'll kick it off
I'll go
because
first. No,
I
I
refuse.
got it.
Ignoring you.
All right.
Anyway,
Damn.
this week, Winter Anime. Well, this week and past week, and Winter Anime came out with a fucking blaze. We got how at that time when I got reincarnated into a slime. Season 2 has finally came out. If you haven't watched season 1, it is a banger. I love it to death. I've actually started reading the manga just because of how amazing it is. Because I kind of stopped after season 1. But more importantly, World Trigger season 2 has released, and World Trigger season 2 I've been waiting on for 6 years, yo. Again, like I've said before, World Trigger is one of those animes that just hits differently each time you watch it. It is a fantastic work. Animation is amazing. The storyline is incredible. The characters have depth. There are like so many different teams in World Trigger, but like each team somehow you care about it and you care about the character development. Even though you have your little main MCs you follow, you care about everyone else, and it's fantastic. So like last week, my anime bug wasn't there. This week, man, I've just been all over it. I've heard more Japanese than English this week, and I'm not mad. Um, and that's about it. That's been a week. I have been anime crazed. I even actually started diving back into what Netflix has, because I kind of wanted to go over some oldies, and I've never actually watched Black Butler, and so I started that one. Black Butler is one of the ones that kind of came out.
That's
I think
pretty
like
funny.
If only he was black.
say again.
If only he was black.
If only he was black, right? Um, but I think Black
Is
Butler
he
came
like a
out like
demon?
2010.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like a
he is.
demon.
Yeah, I don't
Never
want
got I
black
never
people to
watched
be
it.
represented by demons.
Exactly, we don't. I'm fine with him being a white guy, and I'm a white guy. It makes more sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Be done.
but yeah, fantastic anime that one as well. Following that after Black Butler, I'm gonna rewatch Blue Exorcist because I never watched season 2 when Amazon released it. So I'm gonna rewatch Blue Exorcist because I loved that one as well. It was a fantastic story. I love the action in that, but yeah, it's been anime. And I've a shit ton of manga this week. And I'll let AJ go ahead and tell Solo Leveling because it was just off the wall this week. Oh, again, if you're not reading Solo Leveling, I don't know what you're doing with your time. Like you are wasting
Yeah, I'm
every
glad I
minute
introduced it
of your day.
to
It's
Tech.
called living life.
I mean,
It's called
I
not
changed
reading
his
Solo
life
Leveling. Yeah, AJ, you
introducing that to
definitely
Tech, by the way.
appreciate it so much.
I changed his life.
My life was so dark before
Yeah.
you introduced the manga I've
And
read
then he
for the
found out
past
about solo
year.
leveling. Yeah. I guess I'll go. Are you good?
You're
right?
good.
That was
Yeah,
your
you're
what's
good.
good is good. All right.
That
All right,
was
good.
my what's good.
All right. So I obviously solo leveling. Main character. I'm usually not one for a character with all the powers. I just find that those characters are usually boring. But if you
That's
have
fair.
really good like either animation or good like just illustration, you can get me with that. So solo leveling has that. Plus there's some compelling stuff about the main character. The whole story is about leveling up, so it's not like Superman where he just comes to Earth as a god and kind of like, oh, my problems are all emotional. I hate stories like that where it's like, oh, how do I save everybody? Kind of stories. Those don't appeal to me. So
Right.
I like for the hero to actually have some trouble themselves, like because all the other heroes are trying to save everybody too, but they could die while they're doing it. Superman's the only one who's just like, how do I do this perfectly? So usually I hate like characters that are that OP or whatever. This guy is the most OP character I've ever seen, other than One Punch Man, and that's just because his power is satire. Like if he could, if One Punch Man had a limit, I would crush it. It's like that much power, but it's well drawn. I feel like the story's compelling. I'm always on edge of my seat. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I do recommend everybody go and read it. there are places you don't have to use Tappy Tune, guys. There are places where you can get it for free.
Yeah,
If you
there are
really
more
want
places
to.
where you can get it for free.
If you don't want to support the artist tech, but yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Then
Tappy Tunes is where you
so
can read it legally, everybody.
yeah. And then there was I started watching Lupin. Oh, I finished Lupin. Let me
Oh, I
started
forgot
watching it. Like I
about
didn't binge
Lupin.
it.
Yes. God,
It's fantastic, man. It's cool to
so
see a
good.
black dude doing all the stuff that he's doing. Yeah, I was like, this is freaking good, and just the fact that he's you get to see a black guy who's like the smartest person in the room. That's cool, and I've always been a
Yep.
fan of just like the in the same vein that I'm a fan of like the Sherlock Holmeses, I'm also a fan of like the super talented master thief who gets
Yes,
away
the
like in the middle.
the
Like I
gentleman
love
burglar.
heist stuff, gentleman burglars, like gap burglars, anything like that where it's like heist. I like the what's that movie? The Magicians.
Yes.
Oh,
Now you see me
yeah.
stuff, anything like that,
Yeah.
I'm really into it. So anytime I hear stuff like Gentleman Burglar, I'm in, and plus the guy's black, so now that's like double points. So it's fantastic. I finished it this afternoon. I would have finished it yesterday, but I was watching it like real late, so I fell asleep on the last few episodes. So, and then I played Cyberpunk. I've pretty much been trying to beat all the side missions. I hate the fact that it seems like those things are infinite. I'm on a side mission and I get a call for another side mission. It's like you could literally just keep going down. It's just like they're nested. And I'm like, eventually I want to clear these so I can go and do like the actual main stuff.
Right.
But it seems like I'll never be done. Every time I turn around, somebody calls me. Random individuals are calling me who I've never met before, telling me I'm the guy they need to know, or they're the guy or gal I need to know, or something like that. And that I need to call them when I need stuff, or when or they'll just call me and give me jobs like we're friends. And I never met them before, so it's weird. But no, I enjoy playing it. I know it gets a lot of flack because of how terrible the release was, and they obviously weren't ready. But I actually enjoy the game, which I'm surprised because I don't really play like games with stories anymore. This is probably the first one I've played since like Night, which I never finished. No, Arkham Knight. That's one I didn't finish. I finished the other ones, so it's pretty
How come you didn't finish Arkham Knight?
good. I hate the Batmobile so much. I hate it. I hate driving it.
I didn't
It's
mind
annoying.
it. I don't know what I thought I was crazy, but like I didn't.
The controls are hard for me. It's so sensitive. I'm like crashing. First of all, it's built. The cars in Gotham are super small, and Gotham's roads are built like a small, like Swedish town. Like they're so narrow, everything's like real close together, and you're driving this tank. And then when you have to make a right turn, I mean, it's a 90-degree turn.
Yeah,
and so I don't know.
It did feel like you were driving on ice a lot, but
yeah, exactly. So that kind of ruined it for me. But anyway, Cyberpunk was cool. Still is cool. I'm playing it now. I'll probably be playing it tomorrow. So
Cool.
cool.
You want to go next?
I'll go ahead.
All right.
So you all be proud of me. I actually finally started Fire Force.
Fantastic.
I'm on episode 3. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm probably gonna finish it this weekend since it's a long weekend. But yeah, it's cool. It's a good anime to get back into. Anime. I've taken a huge break. For no reason. It was just because I don't know. I get lazy. I tend to watch the same stuff over and over. Just because like I don't really watch TV like that. So I'm usually either on like YouTube, or if I'm watching something, with Nicole, like it's whatever she really wants to watch. And then we end up watching like some trash TV or something, which is highly entertaining. So it's good to get back into the anime swing of things. I think the last anime I've watched to completion was One Punch Man. So it's been a minute.
Did you watch season 2?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, so it hasn't been that long.
Yeah, it feels like a long time. Like every time I talk to y'all motherfuckers talking about a whole other anime. I'm like, God, I don't even know what that is. So
Keep
I
up.
gotta, yeah, apparently I do. Um, the other thing I was doing the past week, I started a second playthrough of Dishonored 2. That game is fucking amazing. It's so much fun. They give you so many cool powers. I'm glad I actually ended up playing. So the way that Dishonored 2 is broken up, you're either Corvo or Emily, who's the daughter of Corvo. Corvo is the main character in the first one. Um, and so when you start, you either start as either one of those. The first playthrough I played as Corvo, and his powers were cool. You know, they're familiar because they're basically everything that you had in Dishonored 1. But then I played with Emily, and she has even more powers. So that shit it's like basically playing a whole different game. So I'm super excited about that. Um, we played
I've never
Gears
actually
of
played the
War.
Dishonored series.
You said what?
I've never played Dishonored.
It is so much fun. It's like you can basically play it the way you want. They encourage you to play stealthy, but sometimes you can just go in and if you got the powers, you just go in and just like throw motherfuckers against the wall, face here, assassinate somebody here, take somebody's head off. Just it's mayhem. Like once you get the groove of it, it's fun as shit.
Terrible.
Then we finally played Gears with Slayers Club for DC Gaming Group. If you're not following DC Gaming Group, definitely come join us at dcgaminggroup.com or dcgg.gg. But yeah, we play Gears. I'm glad that I got Tech and Suave into that world. I know it's a steep learning curve, but I think playing with the bots kind of helped, and hopefully next time uh we get some more people on there, and so I can shotgun everybody in the face.
See.
Um And then over the weekend I got I've been getting into Smash lately. We've also at DC Gaming Group been doing fighting game Saturdays, and usually we play Smash. And I am finally getting in the groove of it. I've always been trash at Smash. So I think I'm like finally kind of finding my three characters who is
I was say, who do you mean?
I like Terry because he's basically a fighting
Of
game
course.
character.
I was gonna say, of course.
But I fuck with Zero Suit Samus and Richter from Castlevania.
Of course.
Victor and Simon are good.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm finally getting a groove of that, but we'll see this Saturday. I'll probably get my ass whooped even more, but we'll see. That's pretty much it.
Probably. Most likely you will.
Yeah, you're right. I'm trash at Smash.
With friends like that.
Right?
We've already discussed the type of friends we are to each other.
That's true. That's why I can say it.
All right, you want to go next, JK?
Sure, why not? So I've been playing side missions on Cyberpunk. And the reason why side missions take forever is because there are certain side missions where you got to do like for instance, when you got to kill the cyber psychos, there's like 9 of them or 12 of them, something like that.
No, it's like 19 of them. There's 19
Something like that. I couldn't remember that number, but yeah, there's
it's a ton.
And each one is harder. So like I found one that
They're
literally
ridiculous.
stabbed you with a knife, stabbed you with a samurai sword, and caused you to fucking burn immediately.
Yeah,
even though
they
I have
freaking they're like boss. It's like a boss fight in the middle of the game. It doesn't really have boss fights. Yeah, it doesn't really. The game doesn't have boss fights. You're just shooting regular people, and then you run into one of them, and they're cyber psychos. They're hyped up on something, and it makes them. It's like fighting a crackhead with tech in their body.
Oh god, that's dangerous.
Crackheads, yeah, that's what they basically are. and which
They're
is
ridiculous.
interesting
I only
fighting
fought
you.
one so far, and she's been smacking me up.
But yeah, so that's been interesting. I'm on the last mission, so I've just been doing side missions because apparently, and we'll get into it later. I guess they have a game plan for DLCs and stuff. So we'll see how that works.
Man, I tuned in on this dude streaming Cyberpunk. This motherfucker was on a mission. He got you got stripped or some shit? They took like all
Oh
your
yeah, this,
I was
bro.
like, this dude, every time this dude went to the goddamn menu, all you seen was like this motherfucker's like shit just hanging. I was like, dog, what the fuck is going on?
That mission was so stressful. So basically, what happened was I got scammed, and in the beginning start of Cyberpunk, the first mission you do with Jackie, where you find the girl who's in the scav hideout, is basically you are now the one that pretty much I got stripped of all my stuff, and so I had to escape. And so you can't see it at my view when I'm initially playing, but when I go to the inventory, I'm completely naked, and you just see everything. You just see my dick hang out, everything. It's funny as shit. Oh, that shit was funny. And Chris is like, "Dog, you still ain't got no damn pants."
No, it was like it felt like an hour. This motherfucker was just running around naked. I was like, dog, what is going on?
I had no gun. I had mantis blades, and that's about it. And these motherfuckers had assault rifles, all that shit. But I got through it eventually. But that was a fun mission actually. And what else? I've been playing Black Ops, Cold War. They have a new shotgun out, and I almost finished getting it. You basically got to get 3 kills without dying with a shotgun. And it's funny as hell when you play on hardcore, you just shoot it from far away and kill it with a shot.
Oh my gosh.
So it's so funny. I was playing with Swallow the other day. That shit was hilarious. And
Was a
then
good time.
also started looping. Well, started quote unquote. So the call, yo, this movie is very
You didn't have
interesting.
to.
It's very interesting. So
Carl wanted to go next.
I'll give you the synopsis. Basically, it's about
Go ahead, Carl.
it's about these 2 girls that live in the same house, but they live in the house during different times. So one is in like the present future, and the other one's in the past, and they are linked together by this one phone where they can talk to each other. That's why it's called The Call. And then
Yeah, when people get murdered in it, obviously.
Obviously.
And here go
I
Maurice talking
don't
about the
know,
call.
I'm not gonna,
It's very similar to the Notebook, right? Yeah. There's a magical space time continuum.
Let's say
Yeah,
so.
sure.
Shout an
It's
absolute
rom
list
com.
right now.
What happens in the first couple minutes is basically, so the girl in the past, a girl in the present, her dad didn't or died or whatever or something, and the girl in the past was there when they bought the house, so she ends up helping. Her dad died in a fire, and so she helped by not causing the fire. So it kind of changed the world and kind of had her dad be alive and stuff like that. So it's very interesting. It's a very interesting concept in a way of time travel.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
the
why,
Notebook, but with murder.
You mean
Sure.
not the Notebook?
not the
They in
Notebook.
time travel in the
Not the
Notebook. You
Notebook.
mean the Lake House?
The Lake House. The Lake House. Lake House. My bad. They're all the same.
we gonna move on, Carl. So Carl, what's good? Are you back?
Too much. I am back. Hopefully my audio quality can hold up. Apparently Discord causes your CPU to go over 100%. So it's overclocking my CPU as we speak. So let's hope for the best, guys. But yeah, so caught up. Watched Jujutsu Kaisen. There was not a new episode, but there was a summary show that was hosted by the voice actors of the main character, which I
Mm.
will continue to forget the name, as well as one of the more senior jujutsu sorcerers. I forgot his name as well. So it's
Subaru.
kind of weird seeing what these people actually look like.
I think
Uh,
it's Sobaru or something like that. Some I can't remember. I know who you're talking about. Sorry, my bad.
no, it's cool. So it was good to get like that synopsis, like where we're at. So it looks like we're gonna probably have a week or two of no new episodes. I don't know how long the break is gonna be for, so but at least they gave us that. Um, so watch that. That was okay. Black Clover. Okay. While the dynamic nature of this week's episode wasn't quite like last week, it was still very good. So the quality still pretty good. Incremental progression, kind of highlighting Asta's journey. So they kind of filled in the gap a little bit because it was such a time skip from episode 158. Between 157 and 158, it was a time skip, and they kind of filled in the gap on like what he was doing to get his level up and how he's channeling anti-magic the same way other people channel magic. So he could fly
Mm,
now using
anti magic.
his anti-magic, which
I'll
is
have to watch
wild.
that.
And not only is he flying, he's like super fast.
Damn.
So
Supersonic, basically.
Get
so
some.
he's
I might get that.
he's almost, if you go back and look at when they had that competition where all the Magic Knights were kind of competing against each other to see who
For
got
the
to be
The Elite
who
Magic
gets
Knight.
to go. Yeah.
exactly. And if you use that as a measure and you assume most of the knights didn't progress, was pretty much at the level of a captain or close to it, right? At least one of the lame captains. Uh,
Right.
Obviously, and Asta are much stronger than there. So Asta is stronger than probably the weakest captain easily right now. I don't
Okay.
Yeah,
like
that's
he
about right.
is substantially more powerful in every way. So he's stronger, he has more muscles, he's way faster. Um he doesn't have to depend on
Mana.
ki as much. So, usually he tries to sense where people are at and anticipate using ki that he learned from
Yummy.
Boss man.
Yami.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So he still does that, but he doesn't have to rely on that as much. And he's using that the mana method with anti magic. So it's like coming together, and he can go deeper into like that demon state.
Yeah.
So uh so yeah, so he's progressing quite a bit. So there's a lot more gaps that they need to fill in. We'll see how they balance like going forward while also going back. And we actually got to see the dark triad for the first time, not just,
Okay.
so they um I don't know if they actually said their names. They probably did, and I missed it as usual, but you
You
actually saw,
watched the latest episode, right?
yeah, that episode 159. So 160, we're supposed to see a lot more from the dark triad. And I don't know if hopefully, we get
Too.
to see them showcase their powers a little bit. So I like how that's progressing. That's pretty good. Um, I continue sort of binging Industry. I took a break on it because it was a little too much sex and drugs. I'm like, I gotta detox a little bit.
Fair.
Tried to warn you.
Like like it's a cool show,
Yeah.
but these Gen Zers, young Gen Zers, young millennials, whatever generation they're in, they're a little too much. And the problem is, like I said last week, I feel like it's kind of accurate, dude. So
Oh, definitely.
yeah, like
Definitely. I told you. I was like, that's how it is.
yeah.
Word.
So I had the pause button on it a little bit because I was binging it, and I was like, I gotta clean up my soul a little bit.
Mm.
You know
Gotta watch some Black Clover. Watch Asta get swole.
what I started a few days ago. Believe it or not, AJ, Mandalorian. Started
Welcome to the
watching
I
club.
that.
I I do not believe it.
If you want to cleanse your soul,
This is
nothing like
fiction.
Baby Yoda.
This is fiction.
Baby Yoda
Baby
cleanses your
Yoda's looking
soul.
cute, man.
He's looking cute. That's the cutest
He's
fucking thing ever.
He's
Ever.
adorable.
Pinch the cheeks.
Until he
Adorable.
force chokes your ass.
Listen,
I
I'll be
mean,
happily choked
she
by that baby.
deserved it. She
Wow.
deserved it. She needs to make her intentions clear, trying to
Yo.
arm wrestle. Get out my
Alright.
face. That's what you get.
Wow.
Anyway, so I finished the first season last night. And it's on to the next. So obviously not tonight,
Second
but
season is much better.
Yep. It is.
Much better.
I'm liking what I'm
It's
seeing. I'm liking what I'm
it's
seeing.
the, it's the best thing to come out of Star Wars in 10 years.
Mm.
Obviously,
Mandalorian is Star Wars now at this point. Like,
Yeah.
put in the I'm the captain of this ship now, because like that's
Mm.
it.
They're spinning off stuff based on it, so they're gonna use it like their jump off point. It's like their Avengers.
first of
Yeah.
all, the way they actually treat the Mandalorian is like, okay, it's clear that you're gonna try to make a video game off this if they haven't already.
And they should.
Like how
I'd
they
be happy
But
to
level
it's
play it.
up
so
with the
clear
armor.
cut, easy
Yeah.
to make a video game out of that.
It's
Yeah, it's
just take
like
a Halo
leveling up
skin.
armor.
I would, and it's Halo. They're the same. Super soldiers, Mandos.
And then he ends the season with a jetpack. Oh, it's gonna take you a while to get used to this and being able to use it. Yeah, or not. Let me just beast mode it immediately while I'm injured. So yeah, I'm very pleased with that. I like power, so I would love a little bit more Baby Yoda.
Black Saber into season 1.
God,
Chef kiss.
freaking black
Well, he
saber.
needs the powers, not just the lightsaber.
Lightsaber.
I need the force. I need
Ah, you need the Force.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm tired of the Force, to be honest. I don't know.
can't be
I
tired
would
of
love a
that.
show. I've said this multiple times. I would love a show that takes place like before the Skywalker series, or like maybe like way in the distant future, where like Jedi's are being rebuilt. Like something that just kind of focuses more on the full like history and lore. Like fuck the
Yeah, like
Skywalkers. Like I want like I want pure like Jedi versus Sith like war.
they're
I
gonna
don't want
do
like
that.
I don't want
They
it
were
focused on
gonna
just like a one group of people.
Alright.
they were
We
gonna
gonna
do
we
that
gonna we
with
gonna put
the
a pin in
Witcher
that.
guys.
We're gonna put a pin in
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. And I bet a lot of people will want to see that shit for real. I mean, I don't know shit about it because I haven't really watched anything Star Wars yet. But yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, no,
Ew.
nothing,
Wow.
nothing.
It's
I'm,
You're
nothing.
not a
I'm
nerd.
slacking. It's okay. We gonna put a pin in that also.
I have
So
questions.
Sick
what's
Clone Wars.
I have
what's
questions. But
what's
we'll
you
put
got?
a
We
pin
can
in
we
it.
can talk about it. We can talk about it. Um,
I mean,
what's good for
I
me
don't
this
know if
week?
you
No,
know
not now. We're gonna talk about it
who
later.
you are now.
Yes.
We could talk about
No,
it
wow.
later.
Yeah. But my list is pretty short. I have not watched anything new. I don't know where the fucking time is going. But I mean, I've been watching Ozark. I haven't watched no new anime. I know Slime came back. I know World Trigger came back. I know what else was I watching that I got a little alert for? I don't know, but I need to catch the fuck up. I haven't been watching Ozark. We just started season 3. It's fucking crazy. Like they be doing the most. They be stressing me the fuck out. Like oh my god, I don't know what's up with these
Yeah,
kids.
it's just gonna get worse.
Why
Just
y'all
say
tell these
that.
dumbass kids anything? I don't.
They're
The
trying
white
not to,
people.
but they were too fucking
Yeah,
they were too nosy.
hear this nigga go
Black
hating
parents
on
They're
don't
them.
asking too many
tell
questions.
kids
There's
Yeah,
nothing.
there's a
true.
simple way to handle that. Like
Simple way to handle that.
It's-
Um, and yeah, but I mean,
bap, bap.
what's up, Carl? What's a simple way to handle it?
Cool. fist to the face a couple times.
That ass. That's what
Bro,
he's
I'm
saying.
It's
dead.
done.
Look,
All right,
I was never in grown folks' business for long. I can tell you that.
facts.
That
It's
Like
dangerous. That's
they,
right.
yeah, it's
that's a
not good for your health.
death
Um,
wish.
Yeah, this plot would not have went well in a black family.
and I mean, I don't advocate for that, but like, I mean, the reality is, as a kid, that was not something. Anyway, we gonna put a pin in that also. Uh, I'm just, I guess
The pin
enjoying the
cooking
ride,
over here.
watching the. Oh, my bad.
Nothing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's all good. Enjoying the ride. Hoping the characters I like the most don't die. And hoping the ones that are pissing me off do. Like, when Red Truck nigga died, I was very pleased with that. Very happy about that. Um, and I've been playing Black Ops. I played a little bit with JK. They had a gunfight a couple weeks ago. And then they had a Blueprint gunfight like 2 weeks ago. And that shit is,
Ooh, I missed out on that.
bruh, you sleeping? That shit is fun.
It's still
Um,
up.
yeah, is it? Okay, bet.
It's still up. And
And
they got new
I'll
maps.
sneak a couple matches
yep.
in. Heh.
And they got that automatic shotgun JK was talking about. I'm trying to get that. I don't know, man. You
Peaceful.
gotta get 3 kills in 15 different matches without dying. So it's challenging.
Wait a
But
minute. You can't die at all, or you can't die before you get your third kill.
no, 3. You gotta get 3 without dying. So like if you get
Okay.
2 and you die, and then you get another one, that shit don't count. You gotta get 3
All right.
without
Okay.
respawning.
I thought you had to not die the whole match, but also
Oh
have at least
shit,
3
no,
kills.
no, that would be terrible. That would be
Impossible.
awful. And then I've been rewatching Big Bang Theory, which is a show I generally like. There's
I do
definitely
too.
some. You said what?
I do too.
Yeah, it's a good show. I mean, like it can be it get real problematic in there. But overall
Yeah.
it's enjoyable, and it's like like relatable, and it's not. I don't know. There's not another show quite like it. And like I
Mm-hmm.
want a show like this with black nerds with jokes that don't rely on like punching
Star Trek.
down. And you said what? Star Trek?
Yeah, Star Trek. Yeah, there.
I don't mind
Half
Star
the
Trek.
jokes are Star
Like
Trek,
mom's was a Trekkie.
or
I'm good with it.
half the jokes are Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, and then you get no. It's like 30%
Flash.
Star Trek, 30% Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
30% Star Wars, or
You get a little
something like that.
Marvel in there. Little.
Oh yeah, I forgot they got the comic books too, so I'd have to
Got the
change my ratio. But you guys get it.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, so I think that's it for me. I do want to catch up on my anime. I got to figure out. I don't know what kind of fucking wormhole I'm in, so I can make some time for it. But I'm definitely looking forward to catching up on Black Clover and all that stuff. But yeah, that's it for me for this week. So we gonna get into some news, and there's a lot going on.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
All right, so here you go. This nigga Maurice is just a hater, bro. What's wrong with Star Trek? You know what? We just gonna go to the thing. Oh,
That's too nerdy.
so they finally, not finally, but like I guess couldn't ignore it anymore. Most of these social platforms have banned Donald Trump from them. But I don't know what the fuck is going on, white people. Like, so Jack Dorsey, the founder, CEO, I don't know what the fuck his title is, the nigga at Twitter, the Twitter nigga,
Yeah.
is
The dude with the mad bun.
yeah,
He said, Twitter.
the Twitter nigga, is talking about how it sets a dangerous precedent or whatever, and I'm just like, I'm confused
Dangerous
about
precedent how?
how white people always want to give each other more and more chances, regardless of like harm done to others, themselves, whoever. And I think part of the problem is kind of like the respect issue that we talked about. Like they don't know how to hold each other accountable. Like the consequences they dole out to non-white people are so
Severe.
yeah cruel. Like they don't know, they can't fathom doing that to each other. And so then whenever
Yeah.
it's time for consequences, it's like they don't know what the fuck to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then like people want to reach across the aisle and like other white people want to reach across the aisle, sing kumbaya and shit. But it's like, how do you fix that kind of basic empathy gap? I don't know. And it's like, I don't know.
See, the fear is real because think about this. The way that people are communicating through these social media apps are becoming very similar to uh like the cell service, right? Like if Verizon said you can't use our towers anymore, sure, there's other ways to communicate with people, but and technically, only technically, because financially I couldn't. Technically, I could create my own towers and my own cell service, right? Like that's a
True.
technical issue. If I had the equipment, I could do that. Like it's just about money, really. But you look at Facebook, you look at Twitter, you look at Instagram. Uh, that's a way to communicate. And if you tell a person they can no longer communicate, right? You're ostracizing from it. And so I get what they're saying. Oh, that's a dangerous precedent because now they can just make up rules and kick you off of it. But you also have to think about how societies work, and that's how societies work. They make up rules and can kick you out of it. So it's like you can't keep skirting the rules and then being like, but whoa, if you kick me out, now everybody's getting kicked out. Oh, wait, now everybody can get kicked out. No, people have always been able to get kicked out, and people have been getting kicked out. Nobody's cared about those people.
Yeah.
People get banned all the time from these things, right? Like you break the rules, you drop some N-bombs in the chat just to be like a troll or whatever, your account gets disabled, right?
So
And like,
It's
and of course
never
he did.
transparent. It's always it's not like there isn't of course like there's you go to the website, there's posted like here's the terms of service, but then like a lot of that stuff like in between is like interpreted, so it's you get a lot of instances where people are like, why the fuck did I get banned? Like I thought I was fine, and then you gotta like go through that whole process. It's just like it's an imperfect system. But I was thinking like, and this kind of AJ, Carl, JK, like over the past like few years, like what I've been pushing, I was like, yo, like as black people, like we just need our own internet, and like this is the type of stuff that that comes up, because it's like, yeah, like you think about it, all of these Trump related the digital footprint that Trump has been like cut off from even at the Amazon Web Services level.
That
And
scared me the most. Like, I get it.
exactly.
But that's terrifying, dude.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, yo, like it was black people, we need our own ISPs, we need our own AWS, we need our own, like that's because stuff like this kind of like it highlighted that. I was like, oh shit, like yeah, like I always thought about that. I was like, how are these companies going to respond to, if they don't like something, like how are they going to respond to it? And this is it. I was like, oh yeah, we really need to get on that.
And
it's Snapchat, Netflix, and Tesla. Their infrastructure completely runs on the cloud. They own no data centers. At a snap of a finger, Tesla, worth over $800 billion, disappears. If Amazon decided, you know what, we don't like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like that's nuts. So that's terrifying.
Yep.
And what he spread was he made the problem is what he was doing is super dangerous, right? When you start making people question every fact and then let them run it through their own filter instead of acknowledging what a fact is and what is fact and what isn't, you really do destroy the society you're in. Like you really do, because now people can really just lean on their biases. They don't ever have to come to a realization. So I get that you have to get rid of them, but it was almost like that. Not what I don't know. I'm wary of just watching somebody just cut the cord and being like, "Oh, we had to do this." Like I get it, but that's exactly how bad things happen to good people too. Like if you can convince the majority that that's what slavery was, right? if the majority of white people were slavers, we'd still be slaves. Like there wouldn't have been anybody on the union that wanted to fight.
Yeah.
You know, in order to
That was
the problem with this though. This has nothing to do with majority. One person made a decision.
But that's
I mean,
what I'm
but that
saying.
was because of public backlash, though. It wasn't just like
that's what I'm saying.
Because
yeah.
like people have been complaining about this type. Like I said, I've said this before, and like I'll never stop. Like these platforms know who is being hateful. They know who is like being abusive toward other users. But that shit makes them money. That shit makes people click. It makes people watch, and so they're not going to kick them off.
The only reason they're kicking him off is because he's not president anymore. If he was still president, they would keep him on. They'd be like, he's the president. We got to keep him on because he's the president. But now that he's not, now they're trying to take this noble stance of, we just couldn't take it anymore after what happened. We just had to, like, no, you were going to keep him on there. Yeah, but now he's going to lose a lot of that, the sway that he had over pretty much the entire world. Everybody had to listen to his voice because the nigga had nuclear access codes. But the moment those things get changed, he becomes a regular citizen again.
Access codes.
Yeah, yes, right.
Boy, not for long.
Yeah, not for long. Hopefully, but
he still
I guess
has those codes.
It's long
We're
enough.
going into a long weekend. He can do anything he wants. Let's not forget.
True.
Let's. But yeah, and I mean, I think. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, JK.
I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if he went on and
I'm saying like he can do anything he wants. That's kind of, I mean, yes and no.
Yeah, there are
stuff he
stuff
hasn't done that he wanted.
That's what I'm saying. He's broken all the rules that we thought
we thought of like. I mean, just
Every time people thought like, "Oh, you can't do this," he was just like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'll do it."
He said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." Like,
it's like, watch me.
Right?
Don't believe me. Just watch.
Exactly.
Like,
no bullshit.
He woke up and he said that every day. Oh, you can't have a bunch of people storm the Capitol and change the election results. Don't believe me. Just watch.
That Capitol shit. Every fucking person, like news anchors and Republicans. And him were talking about the shit since October, September, or after November till now. They've been talking about, oh, we're not gonna let this happen. We're not gonna let they're comparing storming the Capitol to George Washington in 1776.
I mean,
fighting against British rule. I'm like, are y'all fucking serious?
No,
these
motherfuckers are clinically insane.
This is our Washington moment. This is our 1776. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers need to go back to history class. Because last time I checked, 1776, that was against a whole nother nation trying to get, another nation that we're trying to get independent of. I was like, you know what? Never mind. Anyway,
motherfuckers need help. And I don't even know. And so this last week, he was impeached for the second time. Actually, I forgot about how they impeached him that first time.
Guinness Book of World Records.
And didn't vote him out. And I don't think they're gonna vote him out this time. And Mitch McConnell up there talking about, him and Han and shit. But it's like, okay, then vote the motherfucker out then. And he's like, he ain't gonna do that. Come on.
Oh well, I saw people arguing.
Won't even take it up this week.
It's kind of too late. It's already. He only has a few more days left, and like Tech said, he has a few more days left to do anything he can to burn his motherfucker down, basically. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah, and like I guess the wild thing for me is that regardless of what happens with him, is like every state in the country right now is bracing for more violence, and then I feel like it's worth noting that like Ilhan Omar and AOC had the panic buttons removed from their offices like prior to the riot. Like somebody who works at the Capitol that like wanted to make sure that grave harm would come to these women, and that shit is not.
That's crazy.
Cool.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I saw that shit about panic buttons,
bro. Like what?
Really?
Yeah, they got tours the previous day. So Capitol Police was
about.
He better not pardon them motherfuckers. I mean, we'll see.
Who was touring, Carl?
So members of the Capitol Police Department were giving tours to some of these people that rioted the next day.
Yep.
So there's strong indication that it's
It was
very
planned.
No, this
coordinated,
extremely.
you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so because you wonder, okay, I've been to the Capitol before, right? My safety patrol trip, 5th grade. Oh, right. I went in there. I went in. I went in this house. I went to the Senate. I went into the old Senate. Going in there, I have no idea where to find these offices. The fact that they found them meant like
Yeah, I would
you had to
scroll
know
around
where to
for
look.
hours.
Did you get on the
Side
Yeah.
note,
subway?
side note,
What?
go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
No, I was asking, have y'all been on the Senate subway?
Yeah.
There's like
Nah,
a subway system down there.
Damn, I didn't know
never
Mm-mm.
that.
been on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so you walk in there, it's not obvious where these congressmen and women and the senators' offices are at. You gotta know. You gotta know the building a little bit. So yeah, and the fact that they found them, raided them, and panic buttons are missing, laptops are missing.
Papers, documents.
Yes, it's a little.
USB drives found in
They literally
stations.
turned that day from a quote unquote protest to a domestic terrorist national security issue
Yeah.
in under 5 not 5 minutes, but like a couple hours.
And they were the ones who acted like protesting didn't work. So to
Right.
act like you were rallying, like you were riling these people
Exactly.
up just to get them to protest after telling black people that protests don't
gaslighting.
work, and they were
Protest.
just right. And then yeah, no, you wanted them to do something stupid, and they did. And now everybody's like, I didn't know that they were gonna. No, you knew. I mean, all these people are fanatics. These are not even these aren't even and this is terrible, not terrible to say, but this is even strange to say, these aren't even the normal Trump supporters.
Nope.
These are the far end of the Trump supporters,
The radicals.
right?
Yeah.
Right, because 73 million people voted for him. So it wasn't 73 million people at the Capitals, but tens of thousands. I don't know how many people there,
It
but
was a couple hundred.
only a couple hundred.
Nah,
Okay,
it's got to
so
be at least a stack looking at that crowd.
Yeah.
Probably not
But
everybody down to the
but
building.
still, it's like it's the 1% of his fan base, but they're the fanatics. You're talking to the people who believe the conspiracies, who don't believe any facts that don't come from people who they already agree with. Like basically, they only agree with the thoughts in their own head.
Yep.
So
Like that cute
Yeah.
conspiracy shit.
right, yeah. So it's just they knew what they were doing. Like
Yeah.
you weaponized the crowd.
Yep. Like he gave a speech talking about they was gonna do the shit, and then they did. I mean, niggas.
Yeah.
You can't let this happen. If you don't fight, if you are the weak of heart and you're letting this happen, we're coming for you too.
Yeah.
I'm
Did you
like,
hear
What
what
the
he
fuck
called
type of shit?
Pence?
I'm like,
Yeah. Hey, we all right. We
I'm
gonna
like, what?
we gonna put a pin in that. We gotta move along. But
I can't believe a president said that.
fam.
Good
Yeah,
gracious.
it was not only is his son said it too.
We
I'm
good.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
who
y'all
cares
just
about the
out here
son?
blatantly
Yeah, man.
Wildin'.
violating everything. Okay, well, anyway,
We gonna skip
on to the
ahead
next
to
bullshit.
Cyberpunk. Because they going through it. So the co-founder of CD Project Red or CD Project, I don't know, issued an apology or whatever, a video apology. They put it out on Twitter. And they put out a roadmap for new releases. They talking about, we gonna patch it up before we release the DLC. It's gonna be free DLC. And then, the next gen update is coming like after some of that stuff. And they're also promising they're not gonna crunch. And it's like but I don't know. I feel like we've heard it, and they turn around and do it
Yeah.
anyway. And it's like, I mean, I guess I'm not. So I don't know about game development project management. But I'm just trying to understand. I don't know. Like why
They bit off more than they can chew. They believe their own hype. They should have they should have delayed it like again. I mean, you
They
look
should have
at
delayed it longer the first time. Like they should
Yeah.
have actually
yeah,
given it the space it needed the first time. Been like, look,
I can't get
this
over
Halo Infinite this Halo Infinite this,
yeah,
guys, next year. Sorry.
exactly. Like I can't believe like this game was supposed to drop in like April. It's like, dog, like, how bad would this game have been in if they would have dropped it in April? Like that shit,
Fucking
like
terrible.
it baffles me, like how. But I think that he made one. He was talking about like how they were testing it on the vanilla like PS4 and Xbox One and stuff, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we ran it through our tests, and it seemed like it was fine. Like we didn't know." I'm like, "Dog, there's no way." Like the QA team was. I know that they were like sending emails back and forth. Motherfucker was on the other side just deleting them janks. Like them janks was not getting heard. Like QA was like they were siloed on this shit. It's no
Yeah,
way. There's
they
no
put that stuff
way.
straight to the junk folder.
Exactly.
They must have had an inside QA team. Because if they had an outside QA team, they would have told the motherfuckers the truth. They're like, hey, look, this ain't no good.
I think at that point it was just like they have to. I mean, they felt like they needed to. The gamble their gamble did not pay off. The gamble was like, okay, like the game will be, and it'll be okay, but they didn't expect like as many people on the vanilla, PS4 and Xbox One. Like they didn't expect that version to be really bad. Like they knew the game was bad. Even on the PC, like it's still super buggy. It's not, they were banking on the fact that, oh, we turned Witcher 3 around. I mean, Witcher 3 around. And so people will they're used to us releasing this like in a partially finished state. So they'll let us slide. But nah, like this shit was super like the shit on the PS4 or the Xbox One was just, it was like, yo, this game is like running like a
Maybe
PS3 game, basically.
maybe they thought that maybe they didn't expect so many people to not be able to get their hands on these next gen consoles.
That's
so maybe
part
that
of
was
it
what they were
too.
banking on.
That's part
They're
of it
like,
too.
oh, most people are going to be playing the X and the
They
XS
don't
or the
care about
5.
the regular PS. Who has a
Yeah,
regular PS4
the
anymore?
regular PS. They're gonna Microsoft's gonna drop that price down like by half, and everybody's gonna be onto the next console. And then these consoles, these consoles were like they couldn't keep them on the shelves, and they were like, oh gosh, guys.
Hey, we need to extend this a little bit.
Remember when we abandoned all the development on the yeah, this is gonna hurt.
They would have been better, honestly. Like they would have been better off. Like they could even got away with delaying the PS4, Xbox One versions,
and having
but you can't really say that because
they promised it
like
would
even
work.
on the next gen. Well, even on the next gen system, that's the games that we're playing. Like there isn't any like there's only that SKU. We're basically playing Cyberpunk backwards compatibility on both systems.
Yep.
So at the core of it, it is a PS4, Xbox One game. So you can't even.
Yeah, that's right. This isn't the X or S. Like this isn't. It doesn't have an X or S next to it on your console if you're looking at an Xbox.
No, it does not.
Right, because it's not a next gen game.
Yep, it's vanilla as shit. So it's just being like brute forced into working by the new systems. But
have you seen the crazy thing that the trees do, where it looks like a hurricane is blowing them over occasionally?
Yes.
Yeah, if you're like driving on the road, if you look, some of the palm trees, they'll just look like there's like it just be one. Like the other palm trees are standing straight up, and you'll just see one. This looks like it's being blown by like a hurricane or something. It's just like laying across the street, and then it'll just stand up straight. It's almost like one of those little guys at the driving by the dealership. The guys with the fan, with the little fan, and like it looks like one of those. Yeah, it looks like one of those. It's crazy.
Ridiculous.
Do we know how many people they had working on this?
How big is CD Projekt Red?
I think it was like 500 plus, right?
Yeah,
the whole company, or people working on this game?
Well, it was.
I think it was
the
on
Red
that.
Team, right? Started with Black while they were doing something, and then they handed it over to Red.
Huh.
I had to read about it.
I'm not sure. I can't wait for the actual like in-depth coverage on like what went wrong.
The documentary, the behind the scenes.
Tell the truth.
Like Yeah, like how they
Like-
did with Anthem, like
Oh, the
how
Fire
they.
Festival.
Oh my God,
Don't bring
yo,
that up. Please don't bring that
All
up.
right, so
Ja,
we go.
ja, Ja
Let's
Rule.
put a pin in that one and keep moving. How
Yeah, we
about that?
go. Yeah. So Apple is supposedly investing 100 million in racial equity.
And
Um,
niggas.
let me put
It's
a
the
100 down
nigga
on
party.
niggas. Um, and so they're. I
I'll go
mean,
ahead and put 100 on black, 100 on black. Send
God,
hashtag.
facts.
You know, blacks.
So they got a couple things they doing. I guess they're what is it? They got like a little technical school that they're building in Detroit. Um,
How long that lasts?
There's like
yeah.
5 people living in Detroit now. Come
I,
on, man.
it's
Like,
about to
put
be
that.
all white people. I don't know.
Aren't they
There's
doing that in
more
Atlanta too?
populated chocolate cities out there than that. Like,
Atlanta, I
Yeah.
think they're doing one in Atlanta too.
Yeah, they're doing
Look,
Atlanta,
look,
but then they're also doing New York, and it's like there's black people in New York, but there's also blacker places than New York.
if
But
you want to put an impact, you need to start putting stuff on HBCU campuses. I want to see an Apple building on Fairview campus and say, "Oh,
You can start with
College of Computer and Information Systems and Sciences," and have Apple logo, sponsored by Apple. Some bullshit.
look,
Then
Yeah.
I'll be convinced.
we need
They'll name the building
M1s in the
after
hands of students.
yeah,
M1s. Let's get that going.
and former students, huh, Carl?
I
Oh yeah,
mean,
doesn't matter when they graduated either.
Nah.
'Cause,
look, I
Absolutely not.
might still have a free JetBrains subscription. That's all I'm saying.
You can't use that.
Oh shit.
It's Russian.
What I want to see, like I
But I
appreciate
still
them
want it
trying
to
to
be
start at the
free.
ground level, but I'd love to see more blacks in executive positions at Apple for sure.
Absolutely.
forget that. Tech, what are you asking for here? Huh? They're
It's too
doing their
much.
part.
Too much.
Yeah,
They're
doing
doing
their
everything
part.
they can.
Not just superficial fucking
They're
headlines.
buying our love. This is the equivalent of the rich guy buying his wife's love. He's gonna go cheat on her again. That's just gonna happen. But it's gonna be a really pretty diamond bracelet when he comes
lot
back.
More like
more-
diamonds.
I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot more black women black women in executive management, executive positions now in a lot of companies. Like,
Yeah, look,
I don't even think that's like
every
uh,
company's
stuff-
doing that to protect
Yeah.
themselves.
Basically.
yeah, like
We love black
And it's
people.
they
like
gotta start earlier.
yeah. They
Honestly,
gotta start much earlier. And like it can't just be like get them in the door. Like you have to make your company such that it's not gonna be fucking hostile to me when I get in that motherfucker because
When
I'm
I'm
not
in the
gonna
door.
stay in there.
yeah,
Like-
because like oh, you
Like
only
your middle management, especially.
you're an affirmative action hire.
Yeah, what the
Yep.
fuck?
Yeah.
And
No,
Especially like, and this isn't like, I don't know, in my technical experience, right? When I worked for Deloitte, it wasn't like my boss's boss, but like, or I guess it was my boss, but it was like the guy maybe who's like a little bit ahead of me, as far as position goes. He was the dick. He was the one who was just like, I don't like you for no reason. Like he was always that person. It's those people who affect the people that you're trying to bring in, the diverse hires, and often they're white,
Mhm.
and they're the ones who have, their racial biases, or they're the ones who are so worried about gaining more power that they will shut out all your ideas or take your ideas in most cases, or report back on the smallest infractions.
oh yeah,
And-
those are the
Farted at
worst.
his desk.
Yeah, like I remember one
This
time,
motherfucker eating his lunch angry. I feel threatened.
I don't,
threatened.
I don't like that at me during the
Damn, that
presentation.
kale that he just ate there seemed real aggressive when he took that bite.
Yeah.
He was eating beef jerky. It's the only way to do it.
The way he looked at me, I felt like I was the jerky. I don't know.
I don't know. But no, I mean, or like
It's-
fucking, it's crazy.
I don't
I lost
know.
my train of
Yeah.
thought. I mean,
It's
See,
they have
we
to.
know what you mean.
It has to start. It has to start at the ground level. But like, you have to be able to see that change in the executive suite as well. And those executives, like, what is unfortunate is sometimes when we do see, blacks hired in those executive positions, because we're so afraid of losing that power once we get it, we're not often very welcoming to other
Oh no.
blacks in the lower positions to get
All
them up to those. Like,
You
it always
diluting the
feels as if
pool.
we're
You
all
against
make it. You
skinfolk
make
ain't
it.
exactly
kinfolk.
I'm the
all
token
Look,
kinfolk
black
and kinfolk.
here. I
it's
get
like
all
that.
special treatment.
Y'all saw not another teen movie,
Nah.
where the black dude shows up at the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, did you know that, he basically like, I'm the black dude here. He's like, oh, my bad, man. I ain't
My
know,
bad,
my
man.
bad. Because there's only supposed to be one black dude at the party, so the other had to leave.
Yep.
I understand that. It's like, no, wait, nigga, what you doing?
What you
Like,
doing here?
I'm nigga. You nigga.
Bruh.
You're so wrong.
Tech, you're omitting of people when you say black is making Maurice real uncomfortable.
I'm not even looking at chat. My bad.
Oh shit.
um,
He said you too light skinned to be saying that shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Wow.
He ain't
Not
say that. I
really.
said that, but still.
God damn.
So
Um,
real quick, I want to talk about this real quick before we move to the topic of the week. Oh my, what you about to say?
no, I was just gonna say like, Apple, like y'all need to start younger. Like college is a little too late.
College
You
is
have
too late.
to, you have to really like you're dealing with like our culture is just not centered around being a producer. So you need to like
Yeah.
get started earlier with these kids and
Go
get
to
in
one of
those.
those schools named after slave owners that are 90% black and donate there.
Facts. And
Yeah.
cultivate
That's a
and
fun place to
cultivate the
start.
type of work environment that is not going to be hostile, like I already said. Like you,
Yeah.
it's much hard, like, it's easy to say we're going to hire more black people and everything like that, but it's so much harder to move up to the position where people can see you and be like, oh,
Right.
y'all hire people like me, than it is to like, I guess, hire at that level. Like you is
Mhm.
Right.
especially if you don't already have everything in place to allow that person to climb up the ladder. Like it's so hard. Like you can't, like, and then that
Mhm.
one person ends up being having to be the change maker, and it's fucking stressful
Yeah.
and it's
It's super
hard, and they
stressful.
they get so much
And
pushback.
yeah, the weight
You
of the
gotta get
world
big.
should be on every black executive shoulder. Like we
Facts.
should be through the point.
They got
We
two
shouldn't have
jobs
to.
in that
Everybody should be
motherfucker.
right. Like you got
Yep.
to represent yourself
Door
well. You got to
opener and
represent
the
your
person.
people
Yeah.
well, and you got to find a way to advance your people. It's like 3 jobs.
And you only getting paid for one of them
It's,
motherfuckers.
yeah,
Absolutely.
So it's
and
that
probably
it's
still underpaid.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so I mean, I feel like every all of these companies, if they are willing to do that, can be successful at this shit that they, at hiring and retaining black talent. Like it's not that hard.
Well, we'll count it as a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hopefully.
So
We'll
I mean,
see.
I
we'll
pray.
see what comes
I
of
always
it.
pray
Yeah.
like for my kids.
It's easy
I
to
pray for
throw
my
money
kids
at
about
it.
these issues.
It's so easy to throw, especially when you have so much. But all right, we're gonna put a
Yeah.
pin in that. But yeah, I feel you, Tech. we gonna put a pin in that. I want to talk
They
real quick
only
before we
have 2
move.
trillion. Come on.
You see, I know,
Yeah,
man. What am I
so
talking about?
What can he do with 2
hopefully 2
trillion?
trillion.
Come on.
Like
My
yeah,
bad,
What does
Tim
it
Apple. I'm
feel
fucking
like
up.
to
You
have
you
that
ain't got
much
that much.
fucking
yeah.
money?
You buy one. You buy one country, and then it's all gone. Like, it's just
You
See,
done.
it's like you're a
down
regular
to
billionaire again. Good gracious.
oh
What is it
shit.
like to have
So,
that much fucking money? I just
bruh,
want it.
I wish I knew. But Intel
I
is
wish I knew.
replacing. Um, no, let me start with this other one. So Qualcomm is buying this other chip maker, Nuvia. Nuvia has their own IP. They're not paying ARM, and their chips are super powerful if this graph is to be believed. And so if Qualcomm can stop paying ARM and they get all this like ridiculous expertise in house, like they're gonna have some like serious firepower pretty soon. And so, but then after that, like Intel announced this week that next month their old CTO is gonna be their new CEO. And so I'm just
Hmm.
like between that and between the acquisition, like what y'all think is happening over there? Like, are these niggas panicking? Are they finally? I don't know. What is going on?
Maybe they're going
Yeah,
to. I
man.
mean, putting your CTO in as your CEO, right? Maybe
Nah,
they're
he was
going
working somewhere
away
else when they pulled him from, like when he was the CTO, he was working at Intel, but then he was somewhere else, and then they're bringing
uh
him back as the CEO now.
back as a CEO. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to focus on a more technological path, like get back to their roots.
they have
Like you
to.
said before, focusing on R&D. Try and figure. I mean, like Apple, the M1 chips are fantastic.
Bruh.
Like, and they're just gonna get better. And Intel has. I mean, people are. I mean, yeah. I mean, Windows. Windows, Apple. Like they all know it's better to build in house. I mean, ultimately they went with Intel. They went with AMD because they didn't have the capabilities. They didn't have the people, but now they do. And Intel has to figure out what makes them a company now if they're not making chips.
True.
Nothing. So they need
I
to
mean,
keep making
right?
chips. They're trying to branch out into software and business
I
tools and
also know
stuff like
they
that.
bought a security company recently too.
Intel or Qualcomm?
Like if some Intel bought a security company recently.
True.
Fuck is
That's
their name?
called grasping at straws.
You see, right?
Okay.
Yes,
I'm
it
like,
is.
That's clearly them no direction. They're like, okay, we
yeah,
need to purchase revenue to prop up the stock price. So
Yep.
as far as Qualcomm making that purchase, you know, that's just a hedge. I don't see so so for that to take off and be like the thing
hmm
would mean then every phone manufacturer um and Google, because it's like a whole tool chain like
yeah,
thing to go to a different sort of architecture. It's a big deal to do that,
yeah,
right? So just because, oh yeah, we got this other chip and we'll make it cheaper for you. Okay, yeah, but now we got to rewrite a whole bunch of tools.
yeah,
That's a
Right.
lot of money. So it would have to either be super cheap or that chip would have to be able to run ARM instructions so that the phone makers and Google wouldn't have to make any changes.
Right.
So
true.
I just think that's a hedge. I don't see, oh, that yeah, that's gonna be their money maker. Because
I
if you're
mean,
gonna pivot from ARM,
hmm
uh the real momentum is, like I said, RISC-V. There's a lot of momentum building behind that. It's open source. It's not
Yeah.
proprietary. You can do what you want. I don't see, okay, yeah, let's move from ARM, but go to another proprietary thing that Qualcomm controls with an iron grip. I don't see that. It's just a hedge, uh, covering their bases. But Intel's in some real trouble. I don't know. They should have bought that company.
yeah,
Gets,
Intel.
I don't know what they're doing. They
They should have put
slipped
a bid
up.
in on that. I think
Yeah.
it's one of the things they were saying, and I don't know a lot about this, but Qualcomm was talking about trying to get back into like service and maybe using this Nuvia stuff in
What if
some
Intel went
server
cloud?
chips.
I'd be fucking hard if Intel went cloud. AWS rules that shit.
They're trying to,
Mm-hmm.
again, they're exploring all options because
I could see
Whatever
they
them
they
going
could do.
cloud
see
though.
their core business is gonna go off a cliff. So they got to figure something out.
Yeah,
But again, like a different architecture for cloud. You
that'll be a
you're
hard.
you're depending you're depending upon the Dockers of the world,
Mm,
um, Xcode, Windows, all of these people to now support a new chipset for what? For you? You why? Like you're not Amazon. You're not Google. You don't have no scale like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, it's more competition. It'll probably help the consumer in some way. So have at it, but I don't really see that as a threat to anything.
Listen,
Amazon
Jeff
already
Bezos
has
probably already
ARM
puts in a
servers.
package for Intel anyway.
Yeah, he has Intel by the testicles, especially since he has ARM servers coming
Mm-hmm.
and they run fast. They're way cheaper. So, yeah, so ARM alternate architecture on the cloud is coming, but I don't see another proprietary one. It's
I got you.
x86, ARM, and then probably RISC-V, but I don't expect to see RISC-V in the cloud for a minute.
All right. We'll see what happens, man. We gonna move on to the topic of the week, which is CES 2021. So I guess there's a lot of no touch, like sanitizing. I don't know. I'm wondering why people don't just wash their
Shit, we
hands and
don't
clean
care.
shit. Like I don't know. I don't think I can be
UV
convinced to
light,
buy.
baby. Just UV lamps, just
No,
running around your
that's
house on
no,
wheels,
no. Get that
like
shit out.
R2D2 with the UV lamp, just like cleaning your house.
I don't
I
know.
wonder if
I mean,
anybody's ever tried
so
to like wear clothes that they've UV lamped. Just they
Mm.
don't ever wash them. They just UV lamp them every night. Would that work?
No, I don't
I
know.
feel
I
that's
That's a
don't.
good
gross.
question.
How would you like? What
It,
if you
it
spilled
sounds
something?
gross.
How would it?
That's what I don't know. I'm asking these questions because I want to know how that's sanitizes, but like, does it remove the odors? Like, what's going
You
on
said
here? Like,
does it
I would
remove
like to
odors?
know. Like, I get that I know that UV light can kill bacteria, right? So I get
Yeah,
that
for
point,
sure.
but like, I'm wondering, like, is it really like, or is it just like a placebo effect? So people are just like, UV light. Thank
Well,
God.
don't they use UV lights in barbershops? Like what they put the clippers under that little UV thing.
I mean, they use it. I've heard about this. I mean, they were using UV light like years ago to do this kind of cleaning. Like, it's just, with the coronavirus now it's more commercial. People just want, like,
Correct.
what can they get to clean, sanitize
Yeah,
without having to spray a million chemicals. So I
yeah.
get the desire for it, but I also feel like I don't know. I want to know. I might have to see if I can afford to buy like a UV lamp and then run a test where I just wear UV clean clothes for a week and see what happens. The same pair of clothes. Yeah.
Tell us how it goes, bro.
I'll
We
stream
might
it on
hear from your
Blerdimension,
family
guys.
first.
Sorry
Yeah,
about it.
absolutely.
I'll stream it on Blerdimension. Just be like a
Look,
reality TV show. Like, you
Day
wore that
one
yesterday?
sniff
Of course.
test.
Hold up, I have a question. So they didn't do. This is a dumb question, but they didn't do an in-person CES, right? Or was it
No. It
mixed?
was virtual.
nah.
No dumb questions,
Okay,
but yeah, nah. It was
Wow.
all virtual, all like
Wow.
video
it
interviews,
is
all.
Vegas.
That's true. That's true. A couple
That's
of
what I had to
people.
ask.
I know Samsung has set up like a little display that people could come to like limited in a limited way. Um, but I don't think everybody did that. So, but yeah, it was definitely not like in person on a showroom floor, no bullshit like that. That would have been so
That would have been just that.
irresponsible.
Yeah.
But
Well, it
I
would have
wouldn't be
been worse if
surprised.
people actually
Be
showed
our
up.
nightmare.
so, yeah,
It's just
oh,
like what
definitely. If they held a show like a showroom thing, people would have came, and
Oh,
Yeah, it's true.
absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
crazy too. It's
People
like
are
it's
like,
like
like the whoever's going to throw the first concert, like that shit's gonna be sold out.
I'm telling
I'm
you.
People
stressed.
are
I'm
itching.
stressed.
People are itching to get back to some semblance of
And you
normalcy.
know what?
I think the
I'll finally
concert
be
in
able to
Germany.
just take walks again because everybody will be at these concerts. They'll be out of my parks. Like, I'll be getting so mad when I be like, "You guys weren't here. You guys aren't real walkers. You guys are like all you guys are pretenders out here
That
pretending
is true.
to be walking in my parks." I
Yeah,
used to have the
everybody.
I used to have the lay of the land. I could just do whatever I wanted, and now I gotta, and because we're social distancing. Now I gotta super dodge people. I'm like, every time I'm taking like this huge zigzag course around the park when I can just walk straight line. I can't wait for concerts to come back.
Yeah, they walk a straight line.
Concerts, bars, clubs. What did people used to like? That's what I'm trying to think. Like, outside of that. What else did people used to do? Like movie
Go out to eat.
theaters,
Yeah.
bowling alleys. Only thing I really miss is just going to restaurants. Like for real,
Oh,
for real.
Yeah, true.
Um, movie
golfing,
theaters, I
golf.
could do without. Um,
To talk
yeah,
about
Sports
JK,
Top
shit,
Golf is still
yeah,
open though,
gyms.
right?
You said what?
I think Top Golf is still open.
And talk
They
golf.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, they just
Top
do
Golf is
like
still
every
open.
other day or something.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah,
their
bowling,
food is pretty
skating,
good.
yeah, all the activity stuff is cool, but like the
that
huge.
nightlife
I wonder
stuff.
how the world's gonna be like that huge nightlife stuff. I wonder if that's even gonna come back like it.
oh, that shit coming back
I
in
think it
a.
spook people.
It's
Probably will.
it's it's gonna come back. They're
Yeah, I've,
desperate
Yeah.
for it.
I don't know. I guess is it gonna be at? Cause like I feel like for me, I don't know. I just don't know, y'all. But I feel like there's a ton of people who are just like nigga. They never stop going places, and then it's other
Exactly.
people
That's exactly why it's gonna come back.
and other people
No,
who
but I'm
have.
saying like the people who did stop though. So like yeah,
Yeah.
it'll come back for but it never went away for those people. So like, is it gonna come back? Is what I'm saying. Like because they
Listen.
obviously those places are
So
still going out of business.
Yeah.
So they need the other people. They need the responsible people too. Like are those people coming back?
just as
Mhm.
I
quickly
think
as it
so.
feels weird to be standing right next to somebody right now, it's it's gonna be once you're okay, people are comfortable being vaccinated and they feel like okay, even if I get sick, I could treat this. It'll be like a little cold or something like that. Once they feel like that, they'll adjust just as quickly. It's a
Mm.
new normal situation now. I think it'll switch back
I'm
for
getting my
most
first
people.
vaccination next Saturday.
They
Oh
forced
man.
you?
Huh?
They forced you or
No, it's voluntary.
okay.
All right, let me know if you get superpowers,
This
and
man
then
said
I'm
I'll be
in.
in the
That's
club
what I
with
said.
you.
That's
Yeah.
what I said,
Oh
man.
man.
I get
Run
superpowers.
under some UV light right after you get it. See if that
Yes.
triggers anything.
Yeah. That
Yes.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Get bit
done.
by something.
You
They make
said
you wait.
get bit.
You wait 15 minutes after you take the shot.
And then run under UV light. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, they make you wait 15 minutes to see if there's like any
Oh,
Oh
the
yeah,
bad.
there's side
adverse.
effects. That makes sense. Yeah, my cousin works in healthcare. She had to get the shot recently.
So, as far as this nigga Maurice want to go out, how do you volunteer? How you? I mean, the man got to go in the office. He got to, I guess they giving it to him. Maurice is saying how you volunteer for a highly desired vaccine, and it's like, I mean, I guess do the job.
Same way we get a PS5.
Damn.
Technically, because
Oh, you log in and click refresh a ton of times on a website.
Basically,
you
yeah.
can't,
It's
you can't, you
set
can't
the best.
be like,
Vaccine.com and you just hit refresh.
Yeah, I go to CVS.com and do that shit.
Just hit refresh over and
so
over
they
and
can't
over.
technically make you go take it, even though like since COVID is a very is a dangerous outbreak. They can't make you go take a vaccine. So like with the flu shot, they can't make you go take it. So that's why they got to
Mhm.
say voluntarily, like you're willing to go get this vaccine
Yeah, but he's
because
Mhm.
they
saying how
can't
you skip the
mandate.
line. He's
Yeah,
saying
I hear
everybody
strong
want
argument.
it, so how are you getting it so soon? Is what
Because
Maurice
I'm
is
Gummit.
saying.
part of social.
Because he's a
Gummit.
Because
G
he's
man.
essential. There you go.
He's a
He
G
said you don't
man.
matter, Maurice. All right.
Wow. Wow.
You and that PS5.
Get your
Yeah,
GS
man.
level up.
Get your
He's-
GS
he's-
level up. My GS level is negative right now. Shoot.
All right. Back to CES. So I would say I think for gamers, no, you are essential to the podcast, bro. It's all love. Um, the highlight is definitely like the displays. I think probably Carl is
Things are
eyeing some
so
shit.
juicy,
There's
boy.
bruh. They got everything. These new TVs. They got HDMI 2.1 full bandwidth. They got G Sync. They got FreeSync. They got variable refresh rate.
You coming out now and you not to 2.1? Like,
Yeah, that would
what are you
be.
even doing with your life?
I
That's so stupid.
I don't know what they be doing. It's like it's a whole bunch of good shit. The LG's beloved C10 OLED joint is getting a spiritual successor. in the LG C1, which looks really fucking good. And they do have an upgraded model, the G1, which got some more shit, but like I don't know. I feel like the C1 will probably be the sweet spot for most people looking for an OLED panel from LG. TCL is knocking it out of the fucking park for like affordable TVs that look great. They got
I'm
mini
nervous
LED, they
though.
got 8K, they got them niggas got everything
They do, but
So they're
I'm
new
nervous.
Vizio.
basically. I mean, well, except but quality though. Like I don't think, but I mean it's been a while. I think I've told you I'm a TV snob. I didn't used to like Vizio, but maybe they got some good shit.
Look,
And
Only thing I remember about Vizio is that Ladamian Tomlinson used to advertise for them, and
Oh,
so
he
he was
that
did.
guy.
running. Yeah, he was. That's how I found out about Vizio. Had him running the football, and somehow that equated to a TV.
Running the football and doing that finger roll.
what the fuck?
And then somehow I was like, TV. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Fucking
I don't know where
LG.
Vizio gets their panels actually. Maurice is
So
asking
their
Carl, do you
OLED
know?
panels,
I mean OLED,
all
everybody is getting from LG, but I
yeah, it's
thought he meant
just
before.
LG. Yeah, so very, very few companies actually make panels. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Vizio doesn't make any. I don't know who they get their uh, LCD panels from, but TCL though, that's what makes them kind of crazy because they do make panels. So they're making the mini LED, and they got
Hey,
some other technologies coming out. But they are purchasing their OLEDs from LG as well. But yeah, I'm nervous about the TCL. Maybe I'm being a little paranoid, but you know, th-
we'll see,
they're
man.
kind of red. They're kind of red a little bit.
They're a
Little
little
socialism
red.
with China. I'm
I
nervous.
don't know.
They could they so
Corbett.
I haven't paid attention if their TVs, if they're coming with the the Google, is it Google TV they're coming with, or what's their smart
I think so.
stuff?
So in 2020, some of them were Roku and some of them were in Android TV or was it Google TV?
Maybe
It
Google.
was one of them.
It was Android TV, but it's getting rebranded back
Yeah.
to
Oh,
Google TV. Yeah.
There you-
Of course, because it's Google and they
They
don't know
bounced back
what they're
so many
doing.
times.
They don't know anything
Yeah.
about what they're doing with their
Google.
stuff.
I don't know what the fuck Google doing. Like so when they put
They
out the
don't either.
first TV, the G1, the Sony joint, the NEX in whatever, we had it in the store, and I thought that shit was cool as fuck. But that was like 2009, and
Oh, where
I
it
don't
was
know.
built in to the TV?
It was they built a TV with Sony. Like Sony made the TV. They built the software in there.
Hmm.
They had this special remote and all this extra
Yeah,
special
I
branding
remember
and
that.
shit. It was I mean it was cool in 2009. I don't know what I'm not sure what they're bringing. Like is it going to be like I got a Chromecast in the TV and like I don't
Yeah,
know.
pretty much. Like good.
Chromecast, Chromecast Plus, right? So
Chromecast
Chromecast,
Plus, right?
yeah, because normally you just cast to the TV and that's your only interface. But with
Can I
this
stream
now, you
Xbox
can
on it?
actually stream. So, um, because it is Google TV and not just Chromecast, I think you can because you could download apps to it. That's the difference.
I
And
need that.
there's a standalone interface outside of your phone, right? So you don't need to have the phone.
Hmm.
But th- that's what makes it extra dangerous, right? Because now you have this TV that knows your Wi-Fi password. You potentially have to put your Google account information in. If
Yeah.
there's some unscrupulous stuff, like that's your whole life right there.
Somebody out there sniffing packets.
Yeah.
Oh my
You gotta
gosh.
VPN.
So the TCL situation does make me a little nervous. I don't have any evidence, right? It's just paranoid, but you there's been a few little headlines, and I haven't even read the article, so I
Mm.
can't claim the just makes me a little nervous. But TCL is, coming on strong with their panels for sure.
Yeah. I I don't know. So what about TCL makes you nervous? Like
Straight
is
up, every Chinese company makes me nervous except for
ah
OnePlus. and I don't have a good reason why I'm okay with OnePlus. I get a vibe. I had a vibe. I'm
The
like, you
pure
know what?
Android. It's the pure
Yeah,
Android.
but you
That's
know
why you
what?
like OnePlus.
But you know what? Oppo, I think, has a pure thing. Like Oppo and OnePlus quite often makes the same exact device, and they just change the logo on it, right?
Mhm.
But I'm not trying to get no Oppo. It's I
I mean,
it's not logical. It's not logical. But the founder of OnePlus, he seems relatively charismatic type of guy. I'm like, okay, I could vibe with this guy a little bit, whatever. But the other companies, it is a bias. I have no evidence to say they're being shisty, but the Huawei's, the Xiaomi's, that's probably not going to be the move for me. Comfortable.
I got you. I mean, I used to like Xiaomi made a lot of good software like for a lot of good skins for what is it? Android, the mobile operating system. And I used to flash that shit to my phone often because it was fire. It was way better than AOSP and whatever the fuck came on my phone. So I used to fuck with it, but I have not bought a device from them, and I am like I don't know. We can talk about that later.
You left
But
that Android boat though. That's
oh
what
yeah, no,
happened.
I
You
got
left
jumped out of
Android
there.
behind. Wow. Not that I would ever do that. I
He
wouldn't.
would.
I
This
You
man.
you would ever what move from Android?
No,
Yeah.
he's just waiting for Apple to make it. He's waiting for his opportunity to jump ship.
Just haven't put it together. I need it. I need everything, man. I want
Look,
I want
This
it's
reverse
man looking
wireless
for
charging. I want 120 hertz display. I want all my boxes ticked, and they didn't quite.
did
yeah, they
and
didn't.
they
And a
get done.
price, and a compelling price too.
Yeah.
That's important.
Well, they're
You
never
tick
going to
all
do
the
that because
boxes,
they don't have to.
Yeah.
and
I
I
mean,
want
you
They
my
don't
getting
have
that
to.
compelling
many?
Like make me
mini.
is what Apple's saying. Make me give you a compelling
Wait a
price.
minute. Wait. Were you talking about an iPhone? Is that what
The
you said?
iPhone 12 mini is a good
That's very
phone, though.
disrespectful.
People
But
are
what
Where are
loving
about
my
that joint.
Carl
pixels
and his
at?
pixels?
Where
What
are my
about his
pixels
pixels?
at?
You still got my
Man,
pixels? But you,
he choked up on the mic for that too. He choked up on the mic for that. I heard him. I heard him.
Yeah, he
I
did.
heard him get
I
real
did come in
close.
close. Pixels, baby.
Absolutely.
You gotta have it.
it ain't got the pixels. You ain't with it. I
No.
mean, I'm. We gonna go back to CES for now. We'll talk about it. But so I don't know, man. I had no idea about the origin of TCL. They're making good shit though.
They
With
are.
with Roku, I haven't had to put in any real like I use the Roku operating system. I have signed into like Netflix and Hulu and shit like that. But I use a password manager. All my passwords are unique, so it's not like anybody who's sniffing around that shit could just go in and take over my whole shit or anything like that. So I don't know. We'll see. And with
You
Google, Google is a different story because I do have a whole bunch more shit. Like if you get my Gmail, like I'm gonna be hurt.
It's a wrap.
That's a
real
wrap.
hurt.
Taking over
Real
Suave's life.
And it's a wrap. You got all of my money. You got access to the
So
cards.
Yes,
You
they do
got
have
access
all my
to.
credit cards. They have all my credit cards.
Mhm.
That's right. I forgot about
You
uh,
can
Oh, they
really
don't
rule.
have my credit
You
card
can
at
rule it a
all.
full week for me. We'll full 2 weeks for me. You can rule it a full 2 weeks for me. Luckily,
facts.
I'm not. I don't own enough property for you to destroy my life yet.
Right, right, right.
they would
Um,
destroy
but
me.
but there's a
The
lot of
debt
there's a
would
lot
probably.
of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Carl.
No, I was just saying for me, yeah, it would absolutely destroy me because my debit's on there and my credit.
You better have to shut that shit down quick. But
Yeah,
um,
that would be
but
no
yeah, there's a lot
bueno.
of good like gaming monitors coming out too. I don't know if I would. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on the TV versus monitor. Like the monitors definitely offer much higher refresh rates. But the TVs are getting so good, especially the OLED. Like you cannot buy an OLED gaming monitor right now. And so it's like, where you want to go with it? But arguably, like the OLED TV is gonna be more expensive depending on the size. Like if you want a 32-inch 4K 144 hertz, okay, you're paying LG C10 prices at that point. But for most of them, you're gonna be paying almost double to get a TV with VRR, G-Sync 2.1, all that shit, and on
Dude,
with an OLED panel.
I feel
go
like,
ahead and
you know,
just get the Vizio OLED. It like to me that's a good compromise. Yes,
It's,
it might be a little huge. It might be a little large for, if you're trying to for a desktop computer, but
yeah,
considering you have VRR, you have 2.1,
true, true.
you have 120 hertz at 4K, full bandwidth on that Vizio, full bandwidth, and that's a 2020 TV. So with CES here, we're probably another 2 to 3 months before some of the 2021 TVs come out, because usually somewhere
Oh
between February and April you start seeing new 2021 TVs,
shit, LG got
right?
that G1 up on
That
their site already.
so there you go. So that that price could go nowhere but down. So I think a Vizio, the 55, I don't think they make a smaller one.
Damn,
55-inch OLED is probably the move. The last time I checked, it's already $100 off on Best Buy. So I think it was
I'm gonna have to talk to you about the Vizio. We'll
13.99,
see.
and I think it's like 12.99.
I feel
So
like
you
what
got all the gaming features is my point, and they had a firmware update because there was a little controversy with PS5 support with stuff, but I think they took care of that with a firmware update. So it's pretty good to go.
I feel like when it comes to monitors and TVs, especially with the new ones coming out, it all depends on one, how are you going to be gaming or using that TV. So like for instance, if you have a streaming setup and you're going to be streaming gaming and stuff, then yeah, you probably want to go with the monitor. But if you go with if
But
you're
why?
playing, huh?
What makes the streaming situation like a monitor better for streaming?
Well, opinion, like when you're streaming, you're not necessarily caring about, well, some people. I can only speak for me, but me when I'm streaming, I'm not necessarily caring about it being at like 4K or 8K or whatever. I'm just trying to put out like the best quality out with my current system. So, like for instance, if I'll probably put like 1080 out or 720 if worst case. But me, I only use I use the monitor I have now is I think 4K. No, it's not 4K. It's like 144 hertz refresh rate and stuff like that. So like it's to me,
But
I
think
just
about
feel like
this
streamers
though,
don't
right?
really care. They care about the refresh rate more than they care about the actual pixels.
I got you, but think about this. I've never seen a 120 frames per second video on YouTube. Maybe it exists, I've never seen it. This TV, you can see at 120, right? Yeah, it's not 144 like some monitors, but what are you really giving up from a features perspective? Like 24 frames? Okay, but like all the other boxes are ticked. You get near perfect. You get perfect blacks. When I say near perfect, you get perfect blacks. You have all the other gaming features. Plus you got Chromecast support. I don't know if it has Google TV, but it certainly has Chromecast support built in. I mean, no monitor is gonna have that,
Right,
and most monitors don't have 2.1.
and again, that TV is probably best for like someone who's not streaming, someone who's using for who wants to watch, who's not only playing games but watching videos with the family or whatever. So like for instance, like you won't see a streamer with like playing on a TV. You'll see them be playing on a monitor where they can and have multiple monitors to where they can get access to their streaming setup, talk to the streamer and stuff, talk to their chat or whatever. But the TV would be most for people who are not streaming or people who just playing casual for themselves, playing with friends or whatever. So like for instance, where Crescent's basement, like him having a TV down there, right where everybody can watch, or play or whatever. Then that's a best scenario for that. But not everybody's gonna have a TV mounted or a bit like a um. Well, I mean, you have to have it mounted because you're talking about more than 30 inches, 34 inches,
Yeah, but like
or
so the Vizio,
Yeah,
the
that
smallest is the
one's
55,
55, I think.
and then the
Yeah.
LG C10 is 48 is their smallest size.
yeah.
So I
See,
think so you mean like there's not enough room at the desk for you to sit back far enough to comfortably game on a
and
TV.
right, and not a lot of people
Got
like
it.
playing on big ass TVs.
Yeah,
That's
Like a
true.
lot of
that's for
people
sure.
play
That's true.
better on smaller like on 34-inch monitors, and want something with a fast refresh rate so they can got to get that 75. I'm done. This man trying to blow out his eye sockets. God, yeah.
Look, it
No,
is
but
it is OLED, so you're not gonna get overwhelmed by brightness, right? It's not like it's a LED panel with a backlight. So OLED is gonna be dimmer. So yes, you're gonna see a whole lot in front of you, but from a brightness, it's not gonna really hurt
you're
your
still gonna
eyes
get
that
the
bad.
heat though.
This is not the
So
problem.
your
It's
eyeballs
the,
Not
are
it's
gonna
the
really.
feel it.
overload of what they're seeing.
No,
And
So
your
it
like,
eyeballs
comes
are
from
gonna
a backlight. Heat comes from a backlight. There's no backlight with OLED.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying
I,
it's zero heat, but it's not like a regular TV.
it's 75-inch though, so his eyes are gonna dry out. Like, and then they're
No,
gonna.
55. I'm
this
suggesting the 55.
we talking about
We're
Maurice.
talking
This
about
nigga talking about
Maurice.
get that 75 inch. Like what nigga you gonna get neck strain like the first day? You gonna be wearing
you'll be
one of
like
them
this.
fucking.
You'll be like this. You be like,
But did anybody see that chair? I forgot who built it.
The razor,
The
Oh,
right?
the
gaming
razor
chair
joint,
with the
bruh. You
with the I don't even know what to say about that. It's like on a holodeck or some kind of like
that's
I
just
you
need
spaceship
it.
can
or
I
get
need
something
something
it.
like
kind of
that.
similar if you ready to drop like 6, 7 bands.
true.
Look, man, I
Hey,
just need to win the lottery one time. That's all.
You know what
I
they
will
say,
buy
AJ?
it all, man, if I could afford it. I'd buy it all.
Bruh.
Uh,
Hell yeah. All right, y'all. So, uh, we gonna keep we gonna come back to that shit about
Oh,
the
let's
hotly
get
debated
Uncle Leo
monitor
to
topic.
sponsor us.
Get who?
Uncle Leo,
Yeah, don't we? He needs a little
this week in
affirmative
tech.
action spin,
You
doesn't
said
he?
Oh yeah, there are no black people other than O
Yeah.
Doctor and every once in a while Baratunde Thurston. Those are the only black people. He has some other people of black. Yeah, I think there's an
Uh,
Indian guy and maybe some Asian people, but in terms
I'll
of
take
diversity,
Leo's affirmative action funds.
yeah.
Sponsor
get
us.
get that money marked for
we, we say nigga way too much to be on this week. We
oh
say
shit.
nigga way too much. We'd be better off being sponsored by like a Def Comedy Jam or something.
You said that, bruh. I mean,
We drop
just
the
because we say nigga
N-bombs.
don't mean everybody on this week
No,
gotta
there's
listen.
no way he could put a show on his white
I
and
said sponsor. I
respectably
didn't say
white.
nothing about
Hey,
rebroadcast.
no. Yeah,
For
we
the
do a
check.
little
But what I'm
commercial
saying
or
is,
something. Drop a link.
as soon as somebody follows that link, they're gonna hear like fine. And I'm the worst perpetrator. I say nigga, it's like it's an adjective, a verb, and a noun to me. It just depends on what's happening. So I know
He
I say
doesn't
it more
need to
than anybody.
promote us. Just give us the money.
That's
Look,
Okay,
it.
so
it's a tax
It
write-off.
he's giving he's
Sponsor some
sending money to he's sponsoring some black kids. He's he's sending 30 cents a day to a black podcast.
said 30 cents a day.
Use the Sarah McLaughlin music.
Bruh.
That's true.
Y'all stupid.
Look,
Alright.
a few orders of magnitude difference. That's good.
Alright. So that's it for the podcast part. We about to start gaming. So thank y'all again for joining
Yay.
us on the podcast. Definitely let us know what you think about the discussions today, or if there's something you haven't seen us cover that you want us to talk about. Follow us at Blerdimension everywhere if you haven't already, namely here on Twitch and on YouTube. We stream the podcast live on Twitch Thursday nights and we start dropping clips on YouTube like the following week. So, make sure to hit the bell so you can know about all that. We're gonna take a brief intermission, but stay tuned for after podcast gaming. Like I said, we're about to play some Rocket League, and we might play some Halo.